The Deleted series by Ham reunites us with some nostalgic comparisons of the contest of old versus the new. Hotfix went live over the weekend, and will this solve the problems that we've been having with synergies? Is hoarding a bad thing for game performance? Kabam respond to this, and much more, including arena results. Yes, hello everybody, welcome to the Marvel swipey tap related news show that happens on a Monday, Wednesday and Friday. Good day to you, it's the start of the week. Make sure to support the channel by hitting the like button and subscribe with post notifications on all, especially as we're trying to hit 62,000 subscribers as the next goal before trying to hit 70,000 this year. Can it be done? Well, you know, need the support, please do that. And also I want to give a massive thank you to those who support the channel as a Patreon and as a YouTube member. I appreciate you for keeping the love and support, and especially during those hard, tough times, keeping the channel, you know, well going. So thanks very much. Also, those that support on twitch.tv/RichTheMan live. I should be back doing a special themed stream today. We're going to be doing Variant 8. Push for the 100% so I can create a little exploration guide for it. But yeah, come along for that as we go for the big push for the big 100%, man. Just before getting in the video, I just want to let you know that later on today we're going to have a podcast that is going to be out. It was meant to be out yesterday, but I had to do a lot of audio editing, which I'm going to continue doing today. It's going to feature Vega. If you're not familiar with Vega, then make sure to kind of like get involved with the podcast later on, because it is a really decent one. Vega is in for Loki, and I think this is an incredible deep dive, especially on the topic of finding your fun in MCoC, which is a video I'm going to look into tomorrow in great detail. But you'll notice in that particular recording I am sporting these, the Edifier GX gaming headset, and this is a quality headset. It's got a microphone included in it, so we've got a little product placement right here, so the microphone is there, as well as some things that allow you to change things like the LED lighting, synchronize your microphone to work, then I like an on-off thing. But as well, just so you know, myself and Em do both use Edifier headsets, which this one in particular she is using at the moment, which is the G2, and it's got cat ears on it, and it is pink. So yeah, for people that are into those things. So yep, that's a thing. But yeah, we play Phasmophobia at the weekend. Great audio quality, great microphone as well, and it's handy as well, so she doesn't have to have a microphone in front of her. And same thing with myself, but you know, I use this kind of microphone for obvious reasons. But yeah, go and check them out. Link in the description down below. So yeah, sort of sponsorship right there. But yes, go check out Edifier. Now let's kick off the show with a little bit of interesting deep dive. So I saw on Reddit that Hesi34 put this. This is basically a breakdown of like percentages and grab rate for max signature crystals, especially over various different crystals. As a lot of you know, in game, which we've got up on screen, you don't see what the percentage drop rate is for what is in these crystals. So it's always very interesting when people have done this. I know DNA 3000 does a lot of this, and I know a lot of other players do these stats and information as well. But it's certainly interesting to kind of figure out what is the drop rate for certain things. And in particular, you know, if you're not picking up a 5-star or 6-star version of Immortal Iron Fist, which funny enough, my good friend Fist actually picked up one, I think Awakened, the 5-star version over the weekend. So it's just like anything can really happen, but it's still very interesting to figure out the percentages of this, especially from volumes that have been grabbed, like nearly 4,000 there of the 2-star one, 3-star one, you know, 1,526. And basically these max signature crystals are great. Once you get like an expansive roster, got multiple SIGs in them, and you're pushing past 200, you get these max signature crystals, for those that don't know, and it's enabling you to get more things like shards, because most of the time you are picking up crystal shards, which see high percentage there of the 702 that Hesi did, picked up 94% right there. So it is very interesting to figure out that is kind of predominantly what you're getting is the shard element right there. And the same thing with the 5-star one or 6-star duping 1 or 200 signature, 96% there, and only 1 awakening gem right there, which, let's face it, after what happened in December with the needing those trade-ins, is very important. So very interesting. Links in the description if you want to give this more of a thorough read, but I just found this quite fascinating to see. I wanted to put it in the show. Now, known issues and also surprise. I want to give some credit where credit is due to Kabam. They've done 2 hotfixes this month, and that's pretty good. I don't know, some people may say, oh, you know, why are we getting so many, like, you know, hotfixes in 1 month? But this is good. This shows that Kabam are kind of not building, but they're kind of dealing with problems a lot more snappy, a lot more quicker than they've done in the past. Yes, okay, the first hotfix led to a problem that now we had to have a second hotfix, but at least to say that this has been dealt with quickly. And the reason I kind of mention that is that most of the time, when it comes to like halfway through the month, Kabam will probably go, oh, you know, we'll deal with this in the next update, and the player base is waiting an extra, you know, 15 days to nearly a month for any kind of problems to be resolved very quickly. That being said, there are still things that are under investigation that need to be dealt with, so various different things. There's always the issue here with the Champions SP3 sometimes deals no damage in Chapter 3 Quest 2 of the monthly event quest, and that's with mutants, and I gotta be honest, that happens a lot of the time, so it's kind of a recurring thing. But still, you know, I want to give some props to say that Kabam actually did a hotfix and kind of like dealt with something quickly, so that's good news, and hopefully that's the scheme of the year, to kind of go like, right, well, let's deal with stuff quicker than anything. But yeah, other things under investigation are Hawkeye may not apply critical bleeds when intended, and also visual issue with Alliance's game mode that can cause timeouts upon entering as they are visual, so that's something they're still working on. And still there's an issue where certain characters experience issues. Obviously, if you've got the beta, if you've opted into the beta, the skip button stuff, I think it's still something that's going to take a lot longer to look into. But at least they did that hotfix to sort out that synergies issue, which, you know, if you were trying to set up a team in a synergy in your arena, it's like, oh man, it's not nice. A lot of people like arena. Week 2 strikers, the Savannah has got to be talked about. The Wolverine striker, basically. And there's some issues at times with the regeneration buff appearing. Now, when I recorded the video last week, and I don't know if it's like evidence is in that video, but I definitely know whilst I was recording the bulk of the footage, I was noticing that the regeneration buff was not popping up, and I'm like, okay, this is a bit weird. As you can see on screen right now, the laws of what it is that the striker's last hit grants a regeneration buff, restoring 3% of missing health over 6 seconds. If summoned after doing the 4th light attack, the regeneration restores 6% of the missing health over 10 seconds. So it doesn't look like there's any kind of restrictions of things like ability accuracy that could be associated with that, but definitely there is some question marks as to, okay, what is happening with the regeneration buff maybe not being so consistent. Here's an example on screen. So it just went through the striker's method, and then you can see right there that the regeneration buff has popped up. This is against Carnage, again, very standard fight. Nothing that would kind of, I don't know, illustrate a ability accuracy reduction not appearing for the buff kind of thing. There's no kind of like extra narrative to this. So what happens when it doesn't? And again, same thing with what could be said with Thor Jane Foster. Okay, Thor Jane Foster does have an element of stagger to her, so would she in essence kind of like suppress that? Okay, that's understandable. I mean, look, Magneto is using the same way. There's prowess being built, and as well he had an unstoppable moment ago, and you can see no regeneration buff popped up. So yeah, that. And even like to say like there's nothing to say it was nullified in any kind of way. Nothing looks untoward right here, unless something, again, just like something kind of really kind of weird happened with the interaction. Again, we're playing this again from the point of when the striker comes in and is available. So there we go, striker is available at this point. And there we go, striker activated, and nothing popped up. But it did look like it changed its, it looked like it was a burst, because it looked like there was a top up. So whether or not it's just the case it's not appearing, but you are getting some it changes into some sort of like burst, that's something that would need to be looked into. So again, we're going to play it. Come back in. There's a burst. Did anybody just see that there? I'll probably have to like freeze frame on it. It's going to like showcase, but it looked like it turned into a burst of regeneration, and that could be what it is, rather than it being some, I don't know, some weird interaction type thing. Don't know, but it just looked like instead of like I don't even know what to say. Instead of like, it just looked like it was a burst of regeneration as opposed to anything else. You can see, right, so it's on screen right now. 1,923. So instead of it being like one specifically, like a regeneration buff, you still get the effects, but it turns into a burst. So yeah, very weird. A very weird interaction with that. Have you experienced anything? Have you as well noticed that maybe the regeneration buff doesn't pop up and you don't get the regeneration, or it did and or didn't pop up, you got the regeneration, or have you noticed like nothing in particular? Very weird interaction on Strikers Week 2, Week 3 this week. Next up, does hoarding crystals give you a bad experience from the just functionality of the game? Well, in a nutshell, no. Now, over the years, it's been a very kind of hot topic as to how it impacts Kabam. And I think at times they kind of mentioned it would be, it caused some issue somewhere. And then there was this big kind of like thing at the start point, and Kabam regularly do this where they open up your crystals for you and you're then kind of like, yeah, they're sometimes open for you. This was a big thing because Brian Grant held on to the egg crystal for a while until Kabam just went, oh, we're going to pop it open on your behalf. And you know, it was a thing. My God, the history of this game. But where does it what does it do? Where does it store the information? And the data is more on the server end for Kabam as opposed to the front end side of things. So no, you're not going to have any problems, which is kind of weird. Sometimes I feel like Kabam want us to open up the crystals, but it's really to save them on the back end of the data side of things on their servers. Kabam MCoC kind of confirmed this and said that I'm not an engineer, but from what I understand from my conversations with them is that it should not affect gameplay. Crystal data is not stored on your device, so it should not affect the actual performance when playing. This sounds like a device-specific issue, etc., etc. Yeah, so in a nutshell, like this was something that came up a little while ago and was quite funny because all of our crystals were now going to be opened if they are of a certain age and date because they no longer exist. So yeah, that gives you a little bit of insight there. Hoarding, Kabam say, is good because they were like, hoarding is bad, and then it was like, oh, hoarding important for things like special store, where hoarding things like awakening gem crystals might have been good thing. Weird, very weird times. Next up, and shout out to Ham. So Ham put together this Deleted series, which has a part 1 and part 2. And it's really great, okay? This series looks at the old stuff of Marvel Contest of Champions and how things have changed from old animations to champions that have been teased or used partly but not taken through to the full process of the game. FYI, this is also a good reminder of why I decided to put links in the description to other people's stuff, and I would say if you are looking to use anybody's footage, it's just that nice courtesy to say, hey, this is where I got this particular footage. But it is, in any case, down to like just amazing little things. I love the amazing little details, like even like Doctor Strange walking into a fight or running into a fight. You can see right there. Yes, Doctor Strange didn't levitate for a time. He indeed he walked. Then he levitates, which is pretty cool. In any case, like loads of changes of animations, especially from the way that fights kind of break out or how it's moved. Lots of fog right there. You can see as well the animations of kind of the high kicks. Those went, especially because Winter Soldier had them a long ass time ago. And lots of things, including Iron Skull. So Iron Skull was another character that kind of went in for a limited time only, as I think you could face off against him for a time, but you couldn't use him. So that was a thing. But yeah, instead we got the standard Red Skull, and then yeah, that there's lots to this video. I'm not going to like spoil it too much because this is Ham's content at the end of the day, so make sure to go to link in the description and go and check out Ham, as there's a part 1 and part 2 to this, putting in loads of different kind of bits from contest past compared with contest present. And a bit of good news for me is actually got some predictions right. Bit too much for Toad, but the fact is, like, if you went for anything that I predicted, you would have got any of these champions. But with Toad, man, it went a little bit lower than normal. So now for the results, and I've downgraded a lot of my predictions for round 2 on this, but the results are surprising. 36.5 mil with Black Widow was enough to get position 72, 28 mil, 96th position, yes. It's a case that a lot of the, I don't know if anybody like really grinded out for that arena. That's why it's like, it's so weird to see such a big, like these massive gaps, all kind of like, well, it's a low cutoff in any case, but there's so many massive gaps with it. and 40 mil for 435 position. And then with Toad, 142 mil was enough for position 99, and I think 150 mil was even putting that close to, I want to say it was like 30s or 50 position. So there's a lot less people kind of come out to grind arena, which could be good because it means that the bots may be kind of targeted, and as well maybe the interest with Toad was not there. So there's loads of variables to consider. 46.6 mil enough for position 457. My predictions for round 2 are a downgrade in my Toad prediction on the previous the round 1, so it's 150 mil, and then Toad's a 5-star 50 mil, and then Black Widow 6-star 35 mil, and Black Widow 5-star 16 mil. This kind of factors into where I think the safe point is for players when it comes to grind. But very good luck to you in the round 2 if you're indeed going for Toad. And there we go, that has been the Marvel Contest of Champions news show, the MCN for Monday, and I will see you in some other content later today, especially because we're going to be building into some little kind of like fun videos before I get back to like really kind of meaty videos and guides. So yeah, enjoy them, and I'll see you very soon. Bye bye.